Hello guys, this is Spicy, and this is going to be a review on a Bandai high grade 1/144 scale Mazinger Z from Mazinger Z Infinity. So basically, this is based on that movie Mazinger Z Infinity that came out in February or March 2018. Actually, a very nice movie. I only watched the trailer and maybe part of it on YouTube. But yeah, I was actually a big fan of Mazinger in the 80s. And yes, I do actually remember liking Mazinger a lot more than Gundam. This is one of my favorite, actually it's my only super robot series that I actually watch. I did not follow through with all the future variations of Mazinger. So I know what Mazinger Z is. I don't know what Mazin Kaiser is and all the other stuff like the Gao Gaigar and all the other stuff. So what a super robot is basically think of Gundam meet Dragon Ball. So basically, these guys are capable of doing stuff that Goku and Vegeta can do, except that they're giant robots, and they do also fight very silly-looking enemies, much like you would see in stuff like Dragon Ball Z. So, yeah, that's why it makes it more a lot cooler than just Gundams. Gundam just goes around, fly around, shoot their guns, get into beam saber battles and stuff like that. I know some of the later series, they're trying to make Gundam more super robot-y, but yeah, it will never live up to, stuff like Mazinger in terms of its craziness when it comes to combat and stuff. One very good example of a very well-known super robot is Gurren Lagann. That thing is just ridiculous. I think that thing will eat Goku for lunch, or any of the stuff on the Dragon Ball universe. So yeah, if you guys are into super robots, you should definitely want to check out those series. Mazinger is one of the original super robots. Mazinger Z is one of the original super robots. And basically, this is a reimagined version of it. I went back and looked at some of the old animation from the 80s, and yeah, those are not gonna fly today. It's way too silly and way too nonsensical, and yeah. But anyway, this is actually really cool. The mech design for this particular variant version of the Mazinger Z is very well done. It's very detailed, and oops, there we go. There's a back flyer. I actually got this thing I managed to get this thing balanced on this thing just like that. So yeah, it's not part of the official instruction. This thing just meant to fly around. But anyway, I just made a mess. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the box. So we got a huge box here. I think I talked about in the unboxing. It's about the same size as the RG Sazabi box, except this is hardware. Nowhere near as complicated as any RG. In fact, this is one of the easiest high grade I have to put together. And also, I do want to apologize. I wanted to make a part 2 of the build video, but my wife and I had to go do something outside. We have some housework I had to do. So yeah, I ended up being interrupted and I could not finish the video. My cat ended up jumping onto the table and knocked everything over, and then it took me like 30 minutes to find the parts. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the box. And yeah, here we have a lot of gimmicks that you can do with this kit. It's very nice. And the box art is also very nicely done. Here we have the Mazinger Z, and we have the Mazin Kaiser right here, and also promotional stuff on the movie. Retail price in Japan is 3,500 yen, so you're looking at about $40 US for this kit. Obviously, I got it at my preferred Gunpla shop at www.tatsuhobby.com. They're local in Northern California, in San Jose, California. So let's go ahead and take a look at the manual. So the manual is very nice. And the assembly is actually very simple. If you watch my build video, you can already tell that this thing is super easy to put together. Even comes with an action base 4. A full action base 4, not just part of the action base 4. So you can do a lot of things with it. The action base 4 just allow you to, pose a kit, better pose a kit. You can do the flying pose right here with the parts included. You can also do the rocket punch. Yeah, the rocket punch, believe it or not. I think that's where Capcom got the rocket punch thing from the first Marvel vs. Capcom game. or was it the X-Men game? I think it was the X-Men Children of the Atoms, the fighting game from the 90s. That I heard that in the arcade. I was like, what? A Mazinger game? And then it turned out to be like a Marvel character doing it. I was like, okay, that's not Mazinger. Like, who the heck is this lousy robot? Lousy purple robot trying to be Mazinger. Anyway, okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the leftover parts. Here we have, well, just the leftover parts is all from the Action Base 5, Action Base 4. So got all these clear parts. Obviously, here's the Action Base 4 with all its gimmicks. And then we have this thing right here. This is one of the most iconic things from the Mazinger franchise. This is the flyer unit that goes into the head. Basically, it docks into the head section of the Mazinger and creating, allowing the pilot to take control of the Mazinger Z. So that's very nice. And all you have to do is fold out the wings and then plug it onto the head of the Mazinger Z. There we go. Yeah. I think I put a couple of the intro videos on some of the unboxing video. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put the intro video in the link too. It's very outdated, but yeah, you know, in the 80s growing up, that was actually really cool. And yeah, I'm surprised they're still using that that pool that like splits open, allowing the Mazinger to come out. That was still present in the movie, so definitely love that design. That's actually really cool. All right, so anyway, here we have the Mazinger Z with the what I think there's actually a name for this unit. I only know what it's called in Japan, but yeah, it's called the Pilder on. Yeah, the hover Pilder is a flight unit that become a cockpit for the Mazinger Z. Yeah. Also, keep in mind, I actually watched this in Chinese because I didn't grow up in Japan. I grew up in an island near Japan. But yeah, anyway. So I watch it in Chinese. So I forgot what it's actually called. But anyway, the official name is called the Pilder. And this is very cool. Apparently, Mazinger is also very popular in the Philippines. In fact, I think the Philippine studios of Sunrise or something actually worked on the movie, the Mazinger's movie. The Mazinger Infinity, Mazinger Z Infinity. Yeah, so it's very nice. It's actually a very solid figure. Surprisingly, you know what? I recently reviewed some Marvel Legends action figure. This thing is more solid than the Marvel Legends action figure. That's ridiculous. It's not. I don't know. Either Bandai's doing a good job with the model kits, or Hasbro is just doing whatever it is that they're doing. Super solid. I mean, seriously, this thing can take a beating. Aside from the very sharp parts, you know, yeah, I still wouldn't give this to a kid though, because of the sharp parts. They can get kind of injured very easily, all the sharp corners and stuff. Anyway, let's continue talking about the accessories. I talk about the action base. Let's talk about this thing right here. This is I'm actually not familiar with this thing. I think this is like it's a booster unit, allowing it to have flight capability. Yeah, it's just like I don't know if this is actually man or not. Maybe it's like a man unit, and basically it just fly and docks onto the back of the Mazinger. So basically, if you want to see that gimmick, let me show you that gimmick real quick, and then I'll convert it back to regular mode. So you have to open up this back section here, revealing this hole, and then you have to take this whole section here. This is like a belt. That goes on to the yeah, you have to do some assembly here. You stick this right here, I believe. Yeah, you stick this on here. Yeah. Okay, you stick it like this, And this belt goes around the waist of the Mazinger. The Mazinger Z. It's not just Mazinger, it's Mazinger Z. Okay, so, and then you take this piece so that it's nice and secured. Is it this way? Yeah, like that. So it looks like it's nice and secure onto the body. And then you stick this piece on here, and then you fold up the wings. Then you have Mazinger Z in the flight mode. And let's also get these stuff out of the way, and let's make use of that clear part right here. Like that. Okay, well, I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay. Let's move the hand forward like it's flying. Swing the head up like that. Move the arm out like so. Bend the legs a little bit. And then you want to attach this piece to the crotch. Like that. It's not a very solid connection. Basically, it's just meant to loosely hold the Mazinger Z in place, I think. Hang on. Second, technical difficulties. Gotta line up the torso like that. Yeah, it's a nice gimmick, but if you you can easily knock him loose. So just be aware of that. But it's really cool to have a flying Mazinger. This is very nicely done. I like that. Okay, so that's that. I actually prefer the Mazinger Z without that unit. So let's just go ahead and just remove this whole thing. I mean, it looks cool, but I feel like it's way too bulky. And from most of the combat that he does with the enemies or whatever, other super robots, other weird super robots, he doesn't really use that flight unit as much as I think, or at least I don't. The episodes that I watch, he doesn't use the flight unit very often. So, okay, so that's that. Those are the extra parts. Let's go ahead and connect this. There's also a couple more gimmicks. We have several different hand options here. We have one open hand like this. And then we have another, I guess this is more like a karate chopping hand. Yeah, it's more like a karate chopping hand. So we got this one right here. If you want to, like, chop an enemy or something. Let me adjust the camera real quick. Okay, so yeah, looks like if you want to chop an enemy, or maybe do like an Ultraman style pose or something. People have been asking me to review Ultraman, but I actually never watched Ultraman. So, yeah, I'm actually kind of not interested because he's not really a robot, right? At least I don't think he's a robot, so, yeah. Robots, super robots. I think that's all I care about. Okay, looks like I might not have assembled this thing right. Let me just double check real quick. I don't know why this thing is so loose. Oh, I think I did assemble it right. Let's take a look. Yeah, I did assemble it right. This one just have kind of a loose joint for some reason. Anyway, that's that. We also have another closed fist right here. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one. Put on the closed fist. And then there's also another gimmick here. This is actually very cool. I'm just going to show you, and I'm going to convert it back to the regular version. So it can the armor can be removed like that, exposing like the inner section here with two peg holes, and that allows you to attach the blades to the forearm. So here we have the blades. These are very cool. These are one of its iconic weapons. right here, the bladed forearm weapon cutter thing. It's also very sharp, so yeah, if you're gonna give this to a kid, just be very careful. You might want to file these down or something. But yeah, if you grew up in the 80s, I don't know if, I think the most recent thing is there hasn't been really anything recent for the Mazinger franchise, I think. So I don't know if many kids are gonna be a fan of this series without actually watching the show and stuff. But here we go. Here we have the bladed arms, forearm. We have actually you can have both forearms having this gimmick, so that's actually very cool. And yeah, there's a lot of accessories that come with this kit, so probably a good idea if you save one of your the bags that you came with and store the parts. So let's go ahead and convert it back. This thing is sharp. I keep feeling like I'm gonna like just stab myself somewhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the armor plates back to the forearm, like so. It hides it very well, you know. This thing just looks almost seamless with all the almost every part is a panel line. However, there is actually a seam line right here. This is a little bit disappointing. Like they just have a massive seam line right down the center of the side of the forearm. I think they could have done a better job here. They could have made this just like the inside of the forearm, two pieces that cover up the seam. But yeah, they could have easily done that, but I guess they just went lazy there. But still, it's very nicely done. Okay, so let me show you another gimmick here. Here is the bending forearm. I think the elbow here is actually some sort of a cannon kind of thing. So you just stick that right here. And yeah, it's got an extra point of articulation right there. So you can do that without this part getting in the way. So you can do that. That's very cool. And yeah, obviously we got the double jointed elbow right here on the forearm like that with that gimmick, the armor splitting gimmick, which is very nice. And yeah, also the signature rocket punch. We can't have Mazinger without his rocket punch. So let's go ahead and remove this piece right here. Grab one of the effect parts right here. Stick that in here. And then let's go ahead and grab the action base. Stick this all the way. Remove this extra part right here. Stick this on here like so. And grab this piece right here. Yeah, I guess it would help if I remove this thing completely and just stick this like right in the middle. Let's see, make it straight like that, and maybe have him kneel or do like some kind of action pose. Surprisingly, this guy has better posability than some modern action figures. That's a pretty nice shuffle model kit right there. There we go, rocket punch. That's cool. Alright, let's go ahead and put that away. And talk about the rest of the stuff. Now, as always, I always hated these foil stickers. This particular one isn't so terrible. Most of the foil sticker actually go on this thing right here. You can see the gray part that's already coming off. Yeah, this piece of junk. I hate these foil stickers. But yeah, it wraps around these rocket booster kind of thing. And the rest of it goes on the winglet or the fin of this thing, which, you know, to me, this is not a big deal. I'm probably never going to display the Mazinger with this thing attached to it. So I can care less for that. Those are going into a bag somewhere, and they're going to stay there forever. So yeah, very nice kit. We got two of these rocket punch effects. If you source another one of these connectors from, your action base, if you have an extra action base, you can have him pose with double rocket punch. Yeah, that's just too cool. Double rocket punch. Stick that here. Where's the other piece? Like that. That is cool. Okay, I think we cover all of that. Now let's get this stuff off the get the accessories out of the way, and let's talk about the articulation. It's actually pretty well articulated. I'm surprised Bandai put so much effort into this kit. Yeah. But they always put more effort into Gunpla, so don't worry. Gunpla is still their priority. I think Mazinger is actually one of the licenses stuff, like their in-house licenses. Because like the games are made by Bandai. The SNES Mazinger game, or the Super Famicom Mazinger game, was made by Bandai. And most of the toys are made by Bandai. So here we go. Here's Mazinger Z. Let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. So I think I talked about part of the articulation in the build video. So anyway, we're going to go over that again. We got ankle rockers. We got a ball joint for the feet. Right there, ball joint in that lower leg section. Got a double jointed knee. It's only slightly more than 90 degrees. And this section of the knee armor should probably be silver, so you might want to paint that. And yeah, we got the thigh swivel here. Very nice. Rotate that all the way around. We got the pull down hinge here for the hip. So you can pull the leg out like that. And then this helps with articulation, but sometimes it can look very goofy. Alright, so that's a hinge right there. Hinge goes up, hinge goes down, and then we have the universal joint here for the hips. That's actually very nice, all the range of movement right there. Better than a certain brand of action figures. And we got the ball joint here on the side skirt. So you can articulate the side skirt a little bit. Also got the waist articulation right there. You can rotate that. I guess if you move it up a little bit more, you can maybe get the 360. Yeah, you can do that. We have another articulation point right here. It's a ball joint right here for the torso. So it can it can bend backward like when it's flying, or bend forward, I guess, when he's doing the chest laser beam thing. This is like his most powerful attack. Basically, he raises his arm like that, and then this thing fires a beam out, and it just disintegrates the enemy and melts them. It's so powerful. Like, yeah, they just melt like ice cream. So yeah, that's really cool. I was very impressed by that when I was a kid. I was like, wow, that thing is OP. It's super overpowered. And we also have the shoulder butterfly joint right here. Very nice. The shoulder is on the ball joint like that. That just connects in here. No polycap used for this kit. So eventually, if you play around with it too much, you're going to run into a parts tolerance problem, because it's just plastic on plastic. So just be aware of that. And we also got the another hinge right here for the shoulders. Unfortunately, it cannot go perpendicular. That's a little bit disappointing. And then we have the bicep swivel right there. And well, this is not intentional, but since the rocket punch thing, the gimmick, we have extra points of articulation right there for the elbow. And then obviously we got the double jointed elbow gimmick right there with the armor separating gimmick. We got a hinge for all the hands right here, and then the hand is attached via ball joint. It's a ball joint to another plastic piece. So yeah, no polycap means eventually too much posing, too much playing around with it, you end up with loose joints. And the head is on a hinge right there. You can go. The hinge sits in the upper torso, so you can move it back and forth. And then the actual head is a ball joint that goes into this socket right here. Again, not a polycap. So too much posing, too much too much playing around with this kit, you end up with a parts tolerance issue. The parts can get you will eventually get loose. So yeah, the face, look at that. Look at all the detail on this kit. It's just super nice. This is a guaranteed buy for anybody who's a Mazinger fan. If you like robots, if you're just kind of interested in the super robots or anything, I definitely would recommend giving this kit a try. This is a very fun kit to put together, and it's also very simple, and it's also very solid. And he's very high actually. This guy is about close to 6.5 inch tall for a model kit. Take a look at, I have a Marvel Legends Black Widow here. You can see she's like a 5.5 inch figure, maybe 6 inch. You can see Mazinger is actually tall. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, one of my favorite non-Gunpla kits from Bandai. So yeah, I like these a lot better than the the high grade Pacific Rim Uprising kits. This is definitely a lot better than those. Those are actually very nicely designed. It's got some very nice gimmicks, but yeah, Mazinger is so much cooler and so much better too. So much more powerful. He'll probably eat like one of those kaijus for. Yeah, he can probably one-shot any of the kaijus. It's just that OP. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this review. I hope you guys find the information helpful. Definitely check out this kit. If you'd like to get one, check out www.tatsuhobby.com. Not a sponsor, no affiliation. They're a great shop, great prices. Check them out. And thanks for watching.